My parents taught me that we should never burn bridges because we don't know what holds in the future. Who knows? You might need help from someone you hate a few years later. So when you don't get along with someone, you should keep a distance instead of getting into a fight. If you are dismissed from a job the worst way, don't burn the bridges with rude comments the way out.
That's for employing me for 8 years!
I used to think that makes perfect sense. Never burn bridges was once my motto. We really shouldn't make enemies after all. Fast forward to the present day. I have been in the workforce for a while, and I have plenty of regrets in my career. But if you ask me what's my biggest regret, that would be me not having the courage to burn the bridge with my ex-boss. Might as well share my story here. So what happened is 6 years ago, I joined a family-owned IT company, which was run by a husband and wife team. The wife boss was ambitious and she often take on projects that's above the company's capacity. Despite that, the workload was still somewhat manageable. It all happened when the boss decided to launch a web application. They didn't have a clear scope and didn't manage the project well, so we were flooded with work. At one point, we all had to work till midnight for a few weeks without getting any overtime pay. I was fed up, so I resigned. But in my last month there, I still did my best to ensure we had a proper handover. Few days before my last day, I have completed my task pending my other colleague to peer review my work. He was too busy to help out, so I tell the husband boss about this, where the wife boss was long gone already. He said I was okay to go, although it was already after hours. The very next day, the wife boss asked me how did the work go in the morning scrum. I just told her it wasn't finished and explained what happened that night. And then guess what? She ended the scrum and then dragged me into the meeting room. She was disgusted, saying I wasn't following orders and I had poor work ethics. Heck, the husband boss betrayed me and blamed on me as well. I nodded, seemingly agreed with what they said, accepted all these false claims. That day, I failed to stand up for myself, and that was the biggest regret of my career. That's when I learned burning bridges is not always wrong, and in some cases, it is the right thing to do. In this video, I will share my insights on when it is okay to burn the bridges. If you are interested to hear me out, keep watching. First thing first, it's okay to burn the bridge if the relationship is not worth keeping. That might sound harsh, but realistically, not all relationships are worth keeping. I once was terrified of offending others. I couldn't sleep well if I knew someone was upset at me, and if anyone yelled at my face, I would probably just apologize even I know I did nothing wrong. That was just pathetic. If I have a time machine, I would like to go back and slap myself, tell myself to man up. The fact is some people will dislike you for no reason. You try to please them, but more likely than not, they will not appreciate it and exploit you even more. Such kind of relationship is toxic and unfair, and they don't deserve your kindness. Think about your family, your partner, and your close friends. These are the relationships you should nurture. It is okay to burn the bridge if they hurt your self-esteem. I quitted that company for more than 5 years, but I still remember that incident clearly. That day I didn't dare to tell her that she was a terrible boss, told her to buzz off and walked away. I totally could have done that. It was nearly my last day already. Instead, I just quietly let her label me as an irresponsible staff. It was such a massive hit to my self-esteem. I felt so useless for not being able to defend myself on the spot. That's why I say it's my biggest career regret. It's such an important lesson for me that I have to protect my self-esteem at all costs. I must not let anyone hurt my dignity anymore. It's okay to burn the bridge if they don't respect you in the first place. If someone mistreated you in the first place, what makes you think that not staying your ground will make them like you? Straightly speaking, it's not up to you to decide whether to burn the bridge or not. You can't. It's them who set the fire. They are the one who destroyed the connection. If that's the case, why should you care? Why are you responsible to rebuild the connection? If they are burning the bridges, might as well add fuel to it. Good riddance. Now, I have to say the uncertainty of the future would probably be one reason that hold you back from burning bridges, even you know that's the right thing to do. During the meeting, I kept thinking to myself, oh, even I quit, what if she joined my next company and become my boss again? What if she became my customer? Especially we live in such a small city. Well, it seems I overthink once again. I never met my ex-bosses once after my last day. We are not in a drama show. It's extremely unlikely to cross paths if you decide to disconnect for good. Also, you have to understand one thing. People you want to cut connections are usually harsh and unkind. And people with these traits are highly unlikely to be successful. If you keep working on yourself, your social status will improve and they'll be stuck at the same spot or worse. Eventually, you will be out of their league. I don't mind to see my ex-bosses again because they are now too insignificant to affect my life. I even heard they have gone out of business. Ha! Not surprised. Now, before I reach my conclusion, I want to make it clear that I don't like to burn bridges lightly. It's not wise to do it just because of rejections or not getting along, because conflicts and disagreement is typical in any relationship. But once they cross the line, you shouldn't hesitate to burn the bridge. If you take a step back, you should notice that you already have plenty of quality connections. You don't have to hang on to the toxic ones. Also, it's crucial to stand up for yourself. It could be awkward, but so much better than regretting not doing so in the future. Nothing can replace your self-esteem, and it's all up to you to defend it. Lastly, you don't have to worry that they can harm your career path or future. If you keep on working on yourself, they just couldn't do anything about it. So this is what I want to share in this video. If you like my content, be sure to like and subscribe. And again, my name is Keith, so I help the young working professionals to fast track their success and also have fun at the same time. I'll see you in the next video. Signing off.